What's up, YouTube? This is Eric Kelly, aka the Tech Gentleman, coming to you guys live with my first impressions of the Galaxy Note 8. So I finally got a chance to put my hands on it today, and took my SA Plus with me, definitely for size comparisons. I also took the G6 as well, and just tried to kind of wrap my hands around the build and the size. Because as right now with the SA Plus, you're already dealing with a pretty big size screen at 6.2 inches. And I know that the Note isn't going to be that much bigger. I know they kind of squared it up and flattened it out a little bit. But yeah, I put my hands on it, and it it's weird. It doesn't feel like a phone, especially after holding the S8 Plus. Because the S8 Plus, for it to have a 6.2 inch screen versus the Note 6.3, um, the SA Plus feels drastically better in the hands, man. The Note just doesn't seem like it's designed for hands at all. To be honest, it definitely feels like it's a tool. It kind of reminds me of like the V20. No real kind of ergonomical consideration at all. Mostly just trying to get you the biggest screen in your hand. So I think that's something that I kind of have to deal with. I don't know. It's weird. So the biggest question I've been getting asked since the Note 8 has come out has been what's special about it, right? And we're kind of at a point where a phone with a 6.3 inch screen, a stylus with over 4,000 levels of pressure sensitivity, and 6 gigs of RAM, great industrial design, premium materials, headphone jack, waterproofing, dual cameras, 2K plus screen, best screen on the planet. Um, and people are kind of like, what's special about it? So I think it's funny, and I kind of wanted to do this live so I could possibly field some questions and also just kind of give you my thoughts on it, because that's the question I've been getting asked. What's so special about the Note? Um, what's up, Alan? Appreciate you for stopping through, man. Yeah, man. So if you got any questions, definitely drop them in the chat there. But so this has been on my mind, man, and I think it's not our fault. I think it's Samsung's fault. They've kind of cannibalized the Note line. So it used to be, if you wanted a phone with the latest and greatest specs and a big screen, you only had one choice, and that was the Note. That was the Note line. There was no other option, right? But now with the advent of the S7 Edge, the S6 Edge Plus, the S8 Plus, they've kind of got a phone that size wise is really making it hard to justify the Note. What's up, Albert? Appreciate you for dropping through, bruh. If you got any questions, man, this is gonna be, of course, you can tell by the title, it's gonna be Note 8 talk. So definitely drop it off in the chats there. But but yeah, so I have people asking me, what's so special about the Note? And really, if the SA Plus didn't exist, the Note would be amazing. It would be the best thing since sliced bread. It'd be no question, right? Because your only other option would be the S8, which, even though it has a 5.8 inch screen, is still a small device. But once you start putting a smaller device up next to the Note, I mean, like I said, the SA Plus has a 6.2 inch screen. It's not small by any means, but it's still not as big as the Note. And then the Note is just more kind of braggadocious. It's more bold with it, right? It's kind of squared off. It's not trying to be sleek and slim like the S8 Plus. It's basically, when you look at it, it's making a statement. See, so Albert says, so is the Note 8 just an S8 Plus with the S Pen? All right, and Angel Snow says Note 8 or S8 Plus. So here's the deal, right? So if you just want a phone with a big screen, it's hard to recommend anything other than the S8 Plus, simply because you get the big screen, but the you can use it in one hand. Like it doesn't look that big for the screen size you get, right? So it's great in the hand, good one hand usability. The battery is a little bit bigger than the Note 8. The really the justification for the Note 8 is if you need the S Pen, if you're one of those Note people that is used to having the S Pen, like me, I've got probably like over 100 S Notes I've taken throughout the years. You know, it's something I'm kind of used to. Oh man, let me get some more shout outs going here. What's up, Big Dog? What's up, Richard? Appreciate y'all for stopping through, man. If y'all got any questions, drop them in the stream. So of course the overall goal of this stream is to kind of give my response to my first impressions of the Note and where I think it stands in regards to the S8 Plus, because that's really the only thing it's competing with, right? There's nothing else out that you're going to be comparing the Note 8 to. You know, that doesn't exist. What's good, Tech? Night Tech in the building. What's good, bruh? But yeah, so Samsung's kind of put themselves in the corner with the S8 Plus because now the expectations for the Note 8 are so high, right? They have to be so high in order to justify the price tag, in order to justify, even if you have an S8 Plus, it's real hard to tell yourself like, yeah, I need that Note 8, unless you're just an S Pen junkie, right? And so Big Dog says, I want to see how the dual cameras work. That's all I care about right now. I got to play around with the cameras a little bit. I mean, the cameras are good, and I haven't messed with any of the other telephoto dual camera setups. Like I got the V20 and the G6, so I'm familiar with the wide angle aspect of the dual cameras, but I don't have any experience with another phone that actually uses a telephoto lens. So I can't really say if it's better or worse. I say this, when I used the telephoto lens to zoom in, it felt just like using the main camera. You know, the autofocus was quick, the stabilization was there. I was able to just pop in and, you know, get a close-up as if I had walked up on whatever I was taking a picture of. So I think that that's pretty cool. Played around with the live focus as well a little bit, so that should be I don't know, I think that'll be interesting for people that, you know, want their photos to stand out a little bit more. Because when you see a photo with the blurred background and the subject is kind of standing out and pronounced like that, I mean, it's a nice looking, professional looking photo, man. So having that feature and that functionality kind of simplified, I think that's going to be, I think that might be a selling point. You know, I know Apple's kind of hung their hat on that as well. So, but yeah, let me get to the comments right quick. Had some folks drop in and they kind of flew by. And I didn't get a chance to really catch them all. All right. Yeah, so Big Dog is interested in the dual cameras, which I definitely understand because Samsung's first foray into dual cameras, right? So they gotta come correct. I don't feel like they've done anything revolutionary, but they've definitely, I think the features that they do have are probably going to be among the best, if not the best, implementation of it. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so Phone Tech at work got a chance to look at the Note as well, and he said the cameras look good to him. See, Richard said, I bought the leather case that you recommended for my S7 Edge. Thanks. Hey, Richard, no problem, man. I'm glad whenever my videos can help out. I usually don't put anything on my channel that I wouldn't recommend myself, either as a good value or, you know, some kind of hidden gem or something like that. So if you get something I recommend and you like it, man, definitely give me a shout and let me know how you enjoying it. Let's see. Big Dog says might have to go check it out. And yes, the Huawei Mate 9 has that bokeh effect the best. Yeah, see, I haven't got a chance to play around with that on the Mate 9, brother, so I don't have anything to compare it to. I might have to try to find somebody with one or find one out in the wild or something like that to play around with. But like I said, the cameras seem legit, though. Let's see. Angel Snow says, can I use the same Gear VR from the S8 on the Note 8? That's a good question. I don't think I have one in here with me right now. Yeah, I'll have to try that out. I don't know, because I don't know how much extra space is in the little phone part of the Gear VR. I don't know. I have to see. That's a good question, because I haven't heard anything about them coming out with one specifically for the Note 8. So I'm assuming that it does, but I can verify that though. It says Fonte says I'm a true Samsung Knight if you have both the S8 Plus and the Note 8 at the same time. Yeah, man. Like I say, I know for me using the S Pen, the last Note that I owned was the Note 5, and there's been kind of a big jump in functionality from the Note 5 to the Note 8, as far as the pen and the fluidity of it, and how good it feels on the glass to write and all that stuff. It felt great. So that was something that I know I've missed with not having a Note device. But if you were a regular person, a normal sane person, having an S8 Plus and a Note 8, one of them is going to get used. If you use the S Pen, you're going to use the Note. If you don't use the S Pen, you're going to end up using the S8 Plus. Simply because, like I said, the in-hand feel of the S8 Plus is unbeatable right now, man. It's designed for your hands. The Note 8 doesn't care about your hands. It don't matter what size hands you got, big or small. If you pick up an S8 Plus, you pick up a Note 8, that's this is not gonna, it's not even gonna be a contest, man. Let's see what else we got. So Richard says your style is so soothing and relaxing and informative. Flossie would be proud. Yeah, man, I'm trying to be like him when I grow up, man. I want to be like Floss and all these other guys out here that's still being honest in their reviews and their videos, but having some success and putting out useful information, man. That's really my goal, to help people out with this tech thing, because there's so much of it, man. I appreciate that, Richard. See, Rob says, nope, you can't use Gear VR. Dang, man, you got to be the bearer of bad news, huh? I don't know. Rob is another tech reviewer. He is also a part of Team 100, which is a sort of a collaboration of YouTubers. We're kind of all at the same level in this YouTube game, and we kind of work together to try to support each other and help each other out. And he says it can't be used with Gear VR, man. Let's see. Oh, Richard says, like the T-shirt, are you an attorney? No, I'm not an attorney. This is actually a shirt that me and my wife bought to support one of her friends. I actually forgot I had it on. I was just looking for something to match my black and white Chucks, to be honest. So this is what I threw on. but yeah, man. So the debate about the Note 8, how great is it? Is it great? Is it going to be a flop? Is it a disappointment? Like I said, I think that it's a great phone, because I think a lot of people are going to be comparing it to the S8 Plus. And if you have one, it's very difficult to recommend it, simply because that jump is it's almost linear. Like I said, there are differences. There are things that are better, like 6 gig of RAM is going to be better. The dual cameras possibly. It's just good to have more options as far as being able to take pictures and get different shots and things like that. So I think that'll probably end up being a little bit more usable. But as far as putting a Note 8 in your hand and saying, this is why you need to put the S8 Plus down and get the Note 8, is the S Pen. That's really the only justification for it. If you use the S Pen, you can't do that on the S8 Plus. I mean, it's the one thing you can't do. There's no substitute for it. There's no getting by. If you don't have dual cameras, you got a great single camera. That's fine. If you don't have the biggest screen, you still got a pretty big screen. Like I said, it comes down to the S Pen, man. And I think the only reason it's a conversation is because if you were comparing the Note 8 to any other phone, it wouldn't be a contest. Like I said, you wouldn't compare an S8 and a Note 8 and say, yeah, they're the same thing, because they're not. They're two drastically different experiences because of the screen size. I mean, the Note 8 has a screen that's, half an inch bigger than the one on the S8, even though the screen on the S8 is a nice size. It's a bigger screen. It's a bigger screen, bigger battery, bigger phone. It's just a drastically better phone. And then you can't even go outside of the Samsung realm as of right now and compare it to anything else. I mean, the G6, it's not holding up. U11 is not holding up. I just heard something weird about the U11. Is it true that it didn't ship with 1080p 60 frames per second as an option on the camera? Was that a bug, or no way they did that in 2017. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, man. So really, like I said, the only competition right now is between the S8 Plus and the Note 8. If you're trying to decide which one to get, funny thing, you'll actually be able to get the Note 8 for cheaper than the S8 Plus, simply because of all the way the trade-ins are going. Because I know on Verizon, if you're a Verizon customer and you pre-order through Best Buy, you get $150 off from Best Buy. But if you trade in kind of a recent phone like a G6 V20, Pixel, iPhone 7, 7 Plus or whatever, trade in any of those phones, you'll get $480 off. So you'll get the $480 off on top of the $150, making the phone $306. So I think at that point, that's a totally different conversation. If you have everything you need, if you have an upgrade on Verizon you can use, and if you have a recent phone that you're willing to part with in order to activate that trade-in discount. I mean, if it's even at that point, it's even just something to play around with. $306, you can always, if you don't like it, you can sell it and definitely get, double your money back easily. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. Samsung is really trying to make the Note kind of mainstream, it seems. Get back to the comments here. So yeah, so the final verdict, I'm probably going to get it, and I'm probably going to toss them this G6, mostly because I didn't pay for it, so I got it for free. And if I can use it to get a Note 8 for super cheap, if I don't use it, actually, it's funny. My wife was actually asking about the Note 8 because she really wanted the Note 7, which is crazy because she never saw it. I don't think we ever even touched the Note 7. And so I'll probably let her see it. Probably be too big for her, but I don't know. We can try it out and see. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go ahead and take advantage of that deep discount that I can get on it. And like I said, if I don't like it or I find myself not using it, it's not all it's cracked up to be, might sell it, might hold on to it. Just kind of depends. See what other questions we got. Yeah, so Richard says, still loving my S7 Edge. Should I upgrade to the Note 8? S7 Edge and the Note 8, that's a big jump, man. Those are two totally different devices, for real. The S7 Edge is, that's last year, man. That's that old Samsung. The physical home button, and the screen that doesn't go almost from top to bottom of the phone. The old aspect ratio. I think it'd be a pretty different experience for you in a good way. I think if you were to go to the Note 8, and like I said, I'm not sure where the S7 Edge falls in the whole trade-in and get a discount deal, because I know that in order to get the biggest discount, which I've seen, at least for Verizon, has been $480 off. You've had to have, I know at least a Pixel XL, iPhone 7 Plus, LG G6, maybe a V20. I don't know if they're putting V20 in there. But it had to be a pretty recent phone to get that discount. But the next one below that, I think, is like $360 off or something like that. So if you're trying to part with it and you don't mind trading it in, probably be able to get more money than you could ever get selling it on a trade-in towards the Note 8 at this point. So that might be something you want to look at. Nitex says, did I have the Note 7? I didn't. Like I said before, my wife, we were sitting in the bed one day and she just was telling me she wanted the Note 7. It hadn't even come out yet. I think we watched a couple of videos on YouTube about it, and she saw it and she was like, I think I really like that. And at the time, she had an what did she have? She had an S6 Edge at the time. So small phone, small screen, small battery, no waterproofing, no micro SD card. Samsung's first, glass build, so the screen wasn't that functional. You lost a lot of screen real estate because the curve was so you know, dramatic on the ends or whatever. But she kept that phone for, like I say, 2 years. And when the Note 7 popped up, she was like, yeah, I want it. And the lady used my Note 5, and she thought it was going to be too big. But once I confirmed that she liked, she was coming over to that big phone life, I was like, well, yeah, we can go ahead and set that up for you. And yeah, they started blowing up. So, so that's what happened to that. But yeah, so I'm gonna ask her about the Note 8. Probably go take a look at it, and see, because I stopped using my Note 5 because I used to use it a lot for work and for home and stuff like that. And then I had changed jobs, so I didn't need to take notes like that. So it kind of fell off my radar. But in my new job, I've got tablets that I'm carrying around all the time, so that should be pretty useful for me to have the Note again. Yeah, we're gonna see. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna pre-order it. Let's see. Richard says, "What's it like in Mobile, Alabama? I'm from Toronto." Well, I'm actually not in Mobile. I'm in Huntsville, which is about 3 hours. Three? I think it's close to like 4 hours north of Mobile. So the weather's kind of drastically different in Huntsville. Huntsville is about 15 minutes south of Tennessee, where it gets pretty cold. They get snow and stuff like that up there. Mobile is further south. But Huntsville is kind of weird because there's a lot of technology jobs here. There's an army base here, and there's a lot of engineers and IT and security, and it's just a abnormal place to be in the South. It's called the Silicon Valley of the South, actually. There are more IT and tech jobs here than pretty much any other place other than Silicon Valley. So it's pretty cool work wise. You know, that's really what the big draw was here for us. Kind of a small town, a lot of farming still. Uh, let's see, Angel Snow. She says, "How are you feeling the UI on the SA Plus in the months you've used it? People say it gets slower in time in regards to the UI over time. Thanks." So I haven't put up my SA Plus review yet. There's a reason for that. This is my third SA Plus. Reason being, the first one I had the red 10 issue, which if you watch my unboxing, I unboxed the black one and the orchid gray one. And you can see in the video, the black one, the screen has a red hue over it. And it took me like 3 weeks to get them to replace that. Within those 3 weeks, my wife dropped her phone, her SA Plus, the orchid gray one, cracked the screen on it. While I was on the phone to get hers replaced, I dropped mine on the floor in the kitchen, cracked the screen on it. So ended up having to get multiple replacements. So it's kind of hard for me to say that I've been using it consistently because I've had to, go through. I had to get 3 new devices, so I'm kind of waiting to kind of see if some of that Samsung lag sets in. And it's there. The jank is there. The jank is real. I'm curious to see if the 6 gig of RAM and the Note 8 is going to take care of that, but the jank is definitely there. And I don't use the Samsung launcher. I use the Pixel launcher. So you can see, turn my brightness down a little bit. Just kind of see my setup that I have. There's the Pixel launcher. I can slide over. Got all my Google Now goodies and all that stuff. So this is kind of the Pixel setup that I have on mine. It's pretty simple and clean, but like I said, there is some Samsung jank. But usually, it's almost like the phone has to get warmed up. Like if you pick it up cold and you start doing stuff, it'll kind of hitch and stutter a little bit. But kind of once you get going, I don't know if it needs to clear stuff out of RAM, but once you get going, it's pretty smooth. I'll say this though, it's one of the fastest phones I've used out the box in a while. Because I got the G6 about a month after I got the SA Plus, and brand new out the box, the G6 was not as fast as my month-old SA Plus. Like it just wasn't as quick, it wasn't as snappy. And I don't know if that's because of the Snapdragon 821 that's in the G6 or what, but it was real. It was noticeable. Like I said, if you're in the vacuum, you just had a G6, great phone. But if you've had an 8 or 8 plus, it's not gonna hold up. Let me get back to these comments right quick. Make sure see if we got any other questions need to be answered. Richard says, I have a Tab 3 8-inch. Should I upgrade to a 8-inch Samsung tablet? The Tab 3. The Tab 3 is that's pretty old, isn't it? What year is that from? Because the biggest benefit you're going to get from in the Samsung tablets, unless you're using, I don't have mine with me. I'm on the Tab S2, which is running the SoC from the Note 4, which is, the Exynos processor they were using back in 2014. And it just got the Nougat update, and it flies. Battery life is great. Handles everything I want to do great. But that was their flagship tablet in 2015 when it came out. So as of right now, if you're buying anything but the flagships, you're pretty much going to have to buy a new tablet every time a new version of Android comes out, because that's just kind of how they do those updates, man. So if you're on an older tablet and it's slow and sluggish, I would actually look at the Tab S2 right now, simply because it came out in 2015, but it's still going to be performance-wise drastically better than any of the cheaper Samsung tablets, simply because Samsung's still going to put their Samsung UI on it, but it's going to be on top of an older, slower processor. So and then the Tab S2, I think last time I looked, they were around like $250. I don't know what the Tab A is running right now, but even if you need to kind of save up some more money, I think the Tab S2 would be a better investment long term wise. On top of the fact that you just get better performance and it's better hardware, AMOLED screen, dual speakers. It's a great tablet. Let's see. And I'm gonna scroll back through the comments to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Let's see. I think we've hit everything. I was seeing new questions popping up in the comments. Let's see, been on for almost 30 minutes. Wow, that's quick. Yeah, man. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap this up, but just to kind of put a bow on my first impressions, the Note 8. If you don't have S8 Plus and you're thinking about the S8 Plus or the Note 8, I would definitely look at the Note 8 from the standpoint of the discounts that they're offering on the Note 8 right now. If you have a newer device, I would check with Best Buy or your carrier to see what kind of deals they have to get you out of your old device and into a Note 8. Because like I said, a lot of times from what I've been seeing, you can get a Note 8 cheaper than you can get an S8 Plus. If you're looking for a big screen phone that has pretty much the best of the best. There really are no negatives that I've seen with the Note 8. No glaring issues. Everybody pretty much understands the fingerprint sensors on the back of the phone, but that doesn't really bother me at all. Like, I use mine all the time. So the biggest thing, like Phone Tech at work was saying, he was telling me earlier, he was like, man, just go ahead and go out there and put your hands on it and see how you feel about it. And so that's what I did, and I'm here to give you guys my impressions of it. Like I said, the Note 8 is definitely a winner. Like I said, it's kind of meeting lackluster reviews. I think people, like I said, the expectations are so high, but when you have something like the S8 Plus that exists, the best battery life I've had on an Android phone, the best screen, one of the best cameras, some of the best build quality. Then you got headphone jack still. You've got water resistance still. It's kind of no compromise. It's a little more fragile, but that just kind of comes with the that premium territory, I think, and the design language. This is just a hard device to one up. And like I say, I think it's Samsung's fault. They've kind of cannibalized the Note 8 in a way where it's like the bar is so high, but they can't really take that many risks because the Note 7 was blowing up less than a year ago. So if you don't have the S8 Plus, the Note 8 is definitely, I think, what you should be looking at. It's the best of the best, and I think it's gonna hold up the longest. But till next time, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Google Plus. I have all my social media down in the description. If you got any questions, definitely hit me up. Hit me up in the comments on this video, or hit me up on Instagram or Google Plus or Twitter or something like that. But I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Until next time, peace.